Y'all, it is the nightly Newsy News. We have Fry, who is diligently sitting like he's going to get another treat, but he is not because I have put the bacon away and he is like, but I still smell bacon. So he is confused. All the confused. Good evening, Phoenix Fire. I hope you had a wonderful day. We have all the Newsy News because it is the Newsy News nightly news show with me and Fry. I hope that everyone is staying safe with the mega super duper storm that is coming through. Good evening, Slinky. Our first story tonight is about the mysterious 50-foot long tunnel beneath a Brooklyn synagogue that apparently sparked a riot. So, I am not quite sure. There have been several theories put forth about this tunnel, and apparently it also sparked a police confrontation. So, what can you do? Videos reveal the inside of a bizarre tunnel built by a group of young Hasidic Jewish men underneath a historic Brooklyn synagogue. The footage posted on Crown Heights Info Instagram leads viewers downstairs through hallways into a dirt-filled room where roughly 2 by 2 foot grate has been removed from the wall of a building which is adjacent to the Shabbat Lubavitch World Headquarters in Crown Heights. I think I only slightly sort of butchered that. The videographer then crawls through the hole, which leads into a 3 foot high dirt tunnel that reportedly extends about 50 feet and around two corners into the headquarters location. It shutters the men's ritual bath. Look, I am not very well versed in Hasidic Jewish culture, so I am not quite sure what this tunnel is here for. Neither really is anyone. To be honest, I have watched a lot of videos about what this tunnel was supposed to be about, and there are many theories. Photos shared on Crown Heights Info website show beer cans on the side of the tunnel and an electrical wire hanging down. In the adjacent building's dirt-filled room, clothes and other items can be seen scattered around, apparently left by the renegade diggers of the Shabbat Lubavitch movement. The alleged rogue members of the movement, advanced by the late Rabbi Menachem. Oh, for the love of goodness. The late rabbi had reportedly been digging the tunnel under the 100-year-old synagogue for nearly a year. Well, I have told people to, get chores. So they apparently took digging as their chore. The tunnel apparently was designed to reach the abandoned men mikveh or ritual bath around the corner to expand the synagogue, according to the Jewish outlet Forward. The underground pathway was not discovered until last month when neighbors reported suspicious noises coming from beneath their homes. Yeah, all you need is that King of the Hill episode where Dale was building secret friend passages into Hank's house and, he went under the floorboard. Basically, he, dug a hole into Hank's, kitchen. But yeah, it's really, I don't understand. No, secret Jewish tunnels were not on my bingo card this year. But dude from 90210 getting into a mini bike fight was also not. So, 2024 is a banner year thus far. Quote, some time ago, a group of extremist students broke through a few walls in adjacent properties to the synagogue at 784 and 788 Eastern Parkway to provide them unauthorized access. Rabbi Modi Sigelson, a spokesperson for The synagogue said in an emailed statement to the Post, quote, earlier today, a cement truck was brought in to repair those walls. Those efforts were disrupted by extremists who broke through the wall to the synagogue, vandalizing the sanctuary in an effort to preserve their unauthorized access. I, I mean, I was hoping they would be smuggling booze or something. They're dedicated. Another statement from the headquarters added that, quote, the group of young agitators were primarily in the U.S. on student visas. These individuals have been squatting in the synagogue and attempting to take control by demolishing walls to connect the basement to an adjacent building, intending to, quote, expand the sanctuary, it said. I mean, call me crazy, but if you're here on a student visa and you decide to, I don't know, squat in a synagogue and then start, unauthorized tunnels, you think they'd send your ass home. I, call me crazy. I mean, it took a year for them to do this. I mean, I think if I started to see my extremist students take, shovels and such and not come back, I think I'd get a little pissed off and I'd say, "Hey, y'all are going home." Steps are being taken to revoke their student visas and repatriate them to their countries of origin. It took you a year and massive tunnels for this to happen? After the tunnel's discovery, the synagogue leadership called in structural engineers to assess the building's damage, and on Monday, cement mixers arrived to fill it in, sparking a riot. The group of renegade Orthodox Jewish men, thought mostly to be in their teens and early 20s, were filmed tearing down wooden panels and wooden support beams as they desperately tried to get to their tunnel. Maybe they're simply mole people. I mean, look, I understand that people deeply, deeply believe what they want, but if this is not the most memeable picture in the entire year thus far, I don't know what is. Other footage from the temple on the Eastern Parkway shows cops trying to hold back dozens of Hasidic Jewish men as they pushed their way into the 20-foot wide enclosure, toppling over wooden pews in their anger. At least a dozen men were taken into custody, sources told the Post. 10 received criminal misdemeanor charges. Another was charged with obstructing governmental administration, while another. Look, if there's anything that needs to be obstructed, it's governmental administration, while another received a summons for disorderly conduct. So you're telling me that ding dongs can shut down the entirety of Manhattan, the Brooklyn Bridge, the whatever, all the other bridges, the Manhattan Bridge, all the other bridges into New York and out of New York. But, these guys build a tunnel and you bring the entirety of the NYPD Blue into their synagogue? It just seems like the enforcement is a little skewed, if you will. Not that I'm saying you should build unauthorized tunnels. The clash involves the headquarters and former home of Schneider's son, a site that has been a center of previous controversies. A violent incident occurred in 2004 over a plaque outside the building that led to a lawsuit over who was the proper owner, and in 2006, a New York court gave control of the building to the Alguth Shaliz Shabbat. I very much butchered that name, so I apologize. But yes, we have Jewish tunnels. So if anyone had Jewish tunnels on their bingo card for 2024, you may go ahead and put your marker down. I think that was I-29. I-29. In the serious work that science forgot, Nice to see you, Chris Mullen. I hope you had a happy new year too and a great Christmas. Science has figured out why urine is yellow because our tax money has, funded these health studies, and we really need to crack the hard questions. And why pee is yellow has plagued humanity, and we might finally have the answer. Scientists have some wisdom to share about with those who have wondered what gives urine its distinct color. Of all the things I have pondered many a nights when I can't sleep or when I've been nursing a baby or, taking a Friberto out for late night because he's decided he needs to use the restroom, never did I ever wonder why pee was yellow. I just figured God intended it to be yellow, and that's just how it was. But a new study published Wednesday in the Journal of Nature Microbiology has cracked the yellow code. Researchers from the University of Maryland and the National Institute of Health said they have identified bilirubin as the culprit behind what makes one's liquid gold gold. Well, I for one am glad that our taxpayer money is probably going to fund a grant that paid for this study. For the love of all that is holy. Urine constitutes a blend of water, electrolytes, and waste that's filtered out by the kidneys. Scientists had identified urobilin as the culprit behind the yellow pigmentation in urine in 1868, but what caused the color had baffled researchers until recently. Again, burning questions that no one. I'm sorry, Squab Bob. Burning questions that no one had to ask or answer. Quote, it's remarkable that an everyday biological phenomenon went unexplained for so long. And our team is excited to be able to explain it. Brantley Hall, an assistant professor in University of Maryland's Department of Cell Biology and Molecular Genetics, told Maryland Today. The process occurs when red blood cells reach the end of their life cycle at 6 months and degrade into bright orange pigment bilirubin. Typically, the pigment begins to seep into the gut where it may either be excreted or partially reabsorbed. Well, there you go. Aren't you guys glad that you know now why your pee is yellow? Ta-da! Science. Well, there you are. This is full of a lot of words that I'm not going to try to pronounce at 7 o'clock at night. So there you go. Merry Christmas. Bilirubin is the reason that your pee is yellow. Another day, another teacher of shame. I really feel like I'm going to have to quit YouTube. I'm going to have to start doing teacher TED Talks in which I go up to the teachers and I have a crazy me picture where I am in full like Shrek Fiona mode, like no makeup, crazy hair, looking a little cray cray. And I explained to these young little teachers that these are the kind of faces of moms that you're going to see if you continue to try to sleep with our children. I don't know, but I don't know but it's every other day there is another teacher that has lost her damned mind. And I feel like I need to go out and have TED Talks at teacher colleges. Like, you don't want to see whatever wig I have on, but you don't want to see cray cray mo in full cray mode, in full mama bear mode at your door because you've tried to sext my son, okay? You don't want to do it. It's not going to end well. I feel like we need to start having more mom TED Talks with these teachers because I don't know what the hell's happened, but It's like the spigot has turned on, and these teachers gone wild. A teacher has been accused of abusing a teen after police see pictures of scratches on him, and the student's father has also been arrested because he knew about it. Because how many times have I heard dudes say, "Well, where were those teachers when I was a kid?" I've heard it from Mr. Moe. I'm like, "No." Haley Clifton Carmack is charged with statutory grape, among other charges. A Missouri teacher faces charges on accusations that she abused a student. Finally, it takes Yahoo Entertainment to finally put an article out where it says abused and not had a relationship with. For the love of Cheetos. After a witness showed police pictures of scratches on the alleged victim's back, he said came from the relations, court records claim. The student's father was also charged with child endangerment, with police claiming he knew about the alleged abuse and allowed it to continue. Haley Clifton Carmack, 26, was arrested in Texas on Friday and is charged with first-degree endangering the welfare of a child, second-degree statutory rape, sexual conduct with a student, and fourth-degree child touching, if you will. And yeah, I want to touch on this. So if you look at it, I know a lot of people like to dog on the Catholic Church, and yes, they did have a lot of problems. But if you start researching teachers' unions and how they hide and have hidden teacher abuse on students, it will make you want to homeschool your children. Ooh. Yeah. Don't, because then you'll be like, all right, children, we're learning about Futurama today, and tomorrow we'll learn about King of the Hill. And then I'm going to explain to you how Lincoln, well, he turned off democracy. She is awaiting extradition back to Missouri. Clifton Carmack, a former teacher at LaQuay High School, was allegedly abusing a 16-year-old boy, the Pulaski County Sheriff's Department said in a probable cause statement reviewed by People. On December 7th, police say a student witness reported an inappropriate relationship between Clifton Carmack and the alleged victim, and they reported it to a school resource officer, according to the probable cause statement. Good morning, good evening, Christine. Ghostery, here's my new marketable idea. I myself go to teaching colleges and I explain the kind of crazy mama bear reactions that these young teacher females can expect if they continue to do this. I don't understand. Have teachers lost their goddamn minds? I swear to goodness, it's every day, another daggone teacher of shame. I feel like I'm going to have another teachers of shames. The witness told police they learned about the relationship after the alleged victim showed them pictures of scratches on his back, the statement said. They also claimed to have overheard a phone conversation between Clifton Carmack and the student where she allegedly told the teen, quote, "I'm out of state, but I can send you money, baby," when told it was his birthday. Clifton Carmack was previously spoken to about being too close with students by the school superintendent, according to the probable cause statement. Authorities also claim in the statement the witness had said the alleged victim believed he was the reason Clifton Carmack's divorce went through. Well, isn't that special? Police later obtained a search warrant for Clifton Carmack's phone on December 22nd and recovered messages between her and the student that discussed their alleged relationship. It's not clear if Clifton Carmack has reached a plea deal or if any of for any of the charges that she's facing. A second witness told investigators that the student's father had been told by both Clifton Carmack and the teen about the relationship. How does that go? Hi, thanks for coming to this student teacher conference and date. Dad, I'm your son's 7th grade teacher and his girlfriend. What the? Dad, Snake Island. Snake Island. The witness claimed to authorities that Clifton Carmack and the alleged victim used student lookouts while they had relations during school. She made other students their lookouts? Ugh. Yes. I mean, this seems high school students will hit on female teachers, and the teachers must enforce boundaries. It's weak, lonely female teachers that fail to enforce boundaries. I know, but Ghostery, it seems like we have predatory female teachers. I mean, it almost seems like they're actually going after these boys almost. Like they're picking them out in middle school and waiting for them to come to high school. It's some of them seem absolutely like they're engaging in grooming behavior. It's not just female teachers, it's male teachers too, but we've noticed a marked increase, or maybe it's just that I notice now that I cover these stories. So two things can be true at the same time. Slinky. When I did my student teaching 20 years ago, we were lectured on dressing and acting conservatively and about appropriate contact with students. I never once considered one of my students that way. Good deal, Slinky. Yeah, I thought that was I would figure that would be at least part of it. But I mean, it very much seems like there seems to be something breaking down, and we have a lot more female, and it could be these male and female teachers are overly flattered by the attention and fail to enforce the boundaries as they should. Very true. I think it does seem to be some very interesting self-esteem issues and things like that, but swear to goodness. Snake Island. The teen's father, whom People is not identifying in order to protect the victim's confidentiality, allegedly told the second witness that he didn't stop the relationship because he believed they would continue to have the relationship behind his back anyway. Yeah, why parent? Because they're just going. That's like saying, well, dang it, I'm not going to make my oldest son take a shower because he doesn't want to. You're a parent. You have to make your smelly oldest son take a shower, remind him to use soap, make him go back in there, make him wash his hair with shampoo and conditioner. That is what you do as a parent. You make them march their butt in there and use shampoo and conditioner because you are their parent, not their friend. Holy bejesus. The father was charged with first-degree child or endangering the welfare of a child, according to jail records. It's not clear if he's retained an attorney or entered a plea. I can't. Now, you guys, I'm going to say some fairly mean things. But I think when you guys see the pictures, you're going to understand. And these two people are allegedly garbage human beings. They have not been adjudicated yet. They are allegedly garbage human beings. Adult daughter agrees to testify against mother who allegedly strangled a pregnant teen and cut the baby out of her abdomen. Now, this woman was claiming that she was pregnant. And that's why she had to unalive the teen with the help of her daughter, because she had to convince whomever that she really was pregnant. I'm gonna let that sit there for a second. We're gonna go through the article, but I'm gonna go put X to doubt and never happened. But an Illinois woman accused of helping her mother unalive a pregnant woman and forcibly remove the victim's baby from the womb has admitted to the role in the slaying. No, this thing claimed she was pregnant. That's why she was lying about it, pretending she was pregnant, and it was coming to the end of this fake pregnancy. So she was going to have to produce something other than a food baby. So they decided to have a ruse. Desiree Figueroa, 29, took a plea deal on Monday for 30 years in prison for murder. In exchange, she is expected to testify to helping her mother strangle the pregnant victim and cut the baby out of the body, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. Prosecutors in Cook welcome Sally Bischoff. Prosecutors in Cook County said the remaining defendant, Clarissa Figueroa, lured the victim, Marlene Ochoa Lopez, 19, to the home on April 23, 2019 by offering free baby clothes online. Then, as Marlene was looking at a photo album featuring Figueroa's recently deceased son, the defendant started to strangle her with coaxial cable. According to prosecutors, Ochalo Lopez managed to get a hand under the cable, and Clarissa Figueroa called out to Desiree Figueroa, "You're not doing your effing job." The daughter managed to pull out Marlene's fingers one by one, authorities said in the Sun-Times report. Ochalo Lopez eventually stopped fighting. Desiree Figueroa brought a knife from the kitchen. Clarissa Figueroa used the knife to cut the baby out of the victim's belly. Clarissa Figueroa then put Ochalo Lopez's body in a plastic bag and removed the remains to a trash can outside the home. First of all, no. No. The man that slept with this woman, I would like you to come to the front of the classroom, because I have a lot of questions, and I need to see this trial to see who the hell did it, because I got a lot of questions. You are, ma'am, if allegedly your soul is just as ugly as that sneer. Now, this is flippin' ridiculous. A, you're terrible. B, you roped your daughter into being a horrible, horrible human being. And you offered free clothes to a young lady who was getting ready to bring life into the world so you could. I don't like you at all. Snake Island with snake attracted all over you. Let's see. Marlene had been 9 months pregnant. The child, named by his real family as Giovanni Yadel Lopez, was placed on life support at the hospital, but he passed away on June 14th, 2019. As previously reported, Clarissa Figueroa allegedly faked being pregnant beginning at 2018, going as far as to post ultrasound pictures online. Her trial reportedly is set for January 26th. I need to write that down because we are following this trial because, look, this woman has done ticked me off. You don't steal a family's daughter and grandchild away from them. And you don't pretend that you just don't do any of this stuff. And I'm naming it the Ugly Mom Trial. Look, I'm going full petty for this trial. Just deal with it. She is a horrible human being. I don't like her. Look, I will not have any chill for this trial. And a status hearing is scheduled to take place Tuesday. Cops caught Clarissa Figueroa's boyfriend, Pitor Bobek, hosing off a rug with bleach. He pleaded guilty to a charge of concealing a homicide and was sentenced to 4 years in prison. So, yeah. Oh, hello. Welcome, everyone, Raid. In, good teacher mode, I guess. Actually, Timu. So Timu and a lot of bobby pins. This is not as secure. An Ohio teacher undergoes brain surgery after a 15-year-old student attacks her. So we have this sort of dichotomy. You have the weird teachers that seem to want to sleep with children, and then you have these poor teachers that keep getting attacked by unruly students. I will try. I do not have a stream tomorrow night, so for news, so I will try to join with that one. Yes, I did. I did that first. You know what? I did not have Jewish underground Jewish tunnels in New York on my bingo card. I but I also didn't have like the guy from Sharknado getting into a motorbike. Uh fight. So, 2024 needs to pace itself. I mean, if we put all of the absurd in the first 2 weeks, it's going to be all, downhill for nothing. A 60-year-old Ohio teacher was so critically injured in a brutal attack at the hands of a student that she needed to undergo brain surgery. The 15-year-old student punched the teacher in her head in a classroom, causing a, quote, severe brain injury requiring extensive medical treatment, according to an incident report obtained by the Cincinnati Enquirer as part of the USA Today network. A student in the Coltrane Township just outside of Cincinnati has been charged in the attack and is being held in juvenile jail. Yeah, I mean, look, tunnels sound fun. Honestly, I thought it was just because people were trying to avoid all of the, let's say, vocal protesters. But apparently it's because there's a certain radical sect that were very in for one particular rabbi. Look, I don't know. I am not well versed in Hasidic culture and lore, so I don't know quite exactly why all of it happened. And they're cementing it anyway, but honestly, I mean, if I could, I would build a tunnel. The teen is also accused of attacking a fellow student. It is believed um, that they were under the influence of an unknown substance that caused him to hallucinate. Here's what we know so far. Coltrane Township police responded to the assault on the Coltrane High School campus around 2 p.m. on Thursday. Police found the student in the lobby of the school's career center, suffering from what is believed to be a self-inflicted wound to his head. Officers determined that the teen appeared to be under the influence of an unknown substance and was reportedly hallucinating. The student had begun acting distraught before the attack and had injured another 15-year-old student by grabbing him and pinching his neck, officials said. Paramedics took the teacher to a local hospital where she has since had to undergo major surgery to remove her skull cap to accommodate brain swelling and prevent further damage. Okay, he hit her. So this is what would have happened if, and I'm shocked that it didn't happen to the judge with the flying defendant. Again, head trauma is not good. Once your brain, starts to swell, this, hard covering doesn't let it swell, so any sort of pressure means that, you know, you cause irreparable damage to the brain. So the fact that they actually had to take off her skull, I doubt she's going to survive because of that. I mean, this is a very delicate case. The student who was pinched did not require medical care. There was no immediate update on the teacher's condition on Monday. According to a statement released Friday by the Northwest Local Schools and Coltrane Township, the student attacker is being charged with felonious assault and was treated at a hospital before being taken to Hamilton County Juvenile Detention Center. Quote, Northwest Local Schools have confirmed that the incident was isolated and there is no current threat to the school community regarding the matter. Said in a statement, the district remains resolute in their commitment to providing a safe nurse, student, and staff. It's what we do, Chung. Now, what I will say is that I do question how he was able to bring illicit substances into schools, but then again, I knew kids who were wasted off their behinds. They brought vodka and water bottles, so why am I asking this question? I do wonder if he is going to get a slap on the wrist or if they are actually going to charge him with, the severity of the crime that he committed. Because I really think that we are starting to do a disservice when we don't when we keep giving people a bajillion and 20 chances, and like we saw in Las Vegas, by the time that we actually hold people accountable, it shocks them to the point that they freak out. Yeah, it's Buffalo Bill's body lotion. Possibly the best movie ever. All the wild horses. Uh, and possibly not the greatest wife move ever. So, Mr. Mo, just because I make fun of Avatar, I'm still a better wife than this chick. I'm a wonderful cook. A woman denies poisoning husband's soup at the request of a scammer posing as a soap star. Thorsten Kane. Now, I don't do soaps. I don't know soaps. So, I don't know who that person is. Now, Henry Cavill. But everyone would, go for Henry Cavill. So, a 64-year-old Massachusetts woman is facing charges after she allegedly poisoned her husband at the behest of a person whom she thought was a handsome soap star. I mean, if Henry Cavill out of the blue starts texting me and telling me to put, mix the skinny and sweet up with the rat poison, like in 9 to 5, it's an honest mistake. Roxanne Doucette was charged with attempted murder, intimidation of a witness, juror, police, or court official, resisting arrest, assault, and battery on a police officer. Ma'am, you are just having ma'am, you are just having an interesting Monday, aren't you? Court documents obtained by media outlets say Townsend police officers were called to Nashoba Valley Medical Center after Doucette's daughters told authorities she suspected her mother had poisoned her father after she found disturbing messages. Detectives later learned Dosette was messaging a person she thought was Thorsten Kane of The Bold and Beautiful. Well, I mean, it could happen out of the blue as you do. A person from Bold and Beautiful just texts you. I mean, it could happen. One of the messages on December 1st reportedly said, quote, "You have to get rid of your husband, honey. I need you so much." To which Dosette responded she needed to, quote, "do some thinking." Ouch. She then said her husband had eaten the soup and, quote, "wasn't feeling well. Maybe I can collect life insurance." Why am I seeing that chapter with the life insurance dance? Dosette allegedly said Thorsten wanted to know when Dosette may be getting the money, but she wasn't sure. Police responded, I mean, couldn't they have stuck with telling her that her car warranty was getting ready to be, go out of style or out of date? Holy crap, these scammers have gotten insane. Yeah, okay. Police responded shortly after 5 p.m. on December 1st to find Dosette's 73-year-old husband barely responsive. He was dizzy, quote, mumbling, not making sense. Paramedics took him to the hospital. The daughter later asked what happened. He told her he started feeling unwell after he ate the soup his wife made that, quote, wasn't very good and tasted bitter. She put cyanide in his soup? What the hell, ma'am? Dosette denied poisoning her husband, but said she believed she was a victim of a scammer. Wait, are you telling me that the Bold and the Beautiful star wasn't texting her? She lost $8,000, she allegedly told the detectives. Her husband may have had a stroke, she claimed, the authorities said. Doctors reportedly tested Dosette's husband for opioids, cocaine, and alcohol, but for nothing else. You didn't test for arsenic, cyanide. You didn't smell him for almonds? What the crud? I mean, at least 20% of the population can smell the bitter almond scent. And if it was bitter, antifreeze, I mean, anything. Or, check his sugar levels, see if she tried to overdose him with freaking, oh gosh, not glucose. Oh, what is that name? Dang it, Lyrica. I'm having a moment here. Insulin. Uh, it's not clear if further tests were completed. Detectives seized Dosette's phone and iPad as evidence. Dosette allegedly assaulted a police officer as he tried to take her into custody. She's feisty. In an interview with local ABC affiliate WCVB, Dosette again denied poisoning her husband. Quote, "What they say is wrong because I'm a wonderful cook. My son's gone to culinary school. I've learned from the best, my mom," she told WCVB, "and I did not try to poison my husband." She also cut off all contact from the person claiming to be Kane. Well, I guess her love affair with the Bold and the Beautiful is over. I guess she's going to General Hospital now. With people. Oh, for the love of Cheetos. It is you guys, I can't with people. People are the weirdest things in the entire world here lately. I cannot with people. And so I did cut this off, but I did want to talk about this. Yeah, I did actually like that. Well, I'm just a bad cook. Uh, so there is another side, and I guess his name is Depora, but there is another side to this story, and I figured I'd let her talk, though I disagree vehemently with what she is going to say, but I figured I'd give it air because there are two sides to every story. So, sister of repeat offender who launched himself at judge says he felt quote betrayed. Look, he'll always be Debbie to me. By prison sentence. A Nevada man who launched himself at a judge who is about to sentence him to prison will spend at least the next year and a half behind bars, and that doesn't include any time he might serve for his now viral attack. Debbie, 30, who took a flying leap at Clark County Judge Carrie K. Hothus during Reddin's sentencing hearings for attempted battery plea on Wednesday, January 3rd. In a video we already know, so we already know all that. All right. We're skipping to the sister. All right. So after the sentencing, this is what the family member said. Reddin's family member said that he had suffered from mental illness, including schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, all his life. Now, this is, well, so Ghostery, his name is, let me highlight it for you because Deborah. Yes, he said he was just fixing to get his life together. And he was doing good for 30 days before he went on a flying leap. In fact, that was his last sentence. He was like, I've been choosing good things. I've been doing good. And I've got my life together for these last 30 days. But he'd also been sentenced to mental health court several times. So explain to me how it is our fault that he didn't take advantage of any of those opportunities. But according to his sister, it's definitely our fault as society. And again, if you guys have known about this, if he has actual diagnosed mental disorders, this is the Daryl Brooks things. If you guys know that he has this, why aren't you, making sure he's going to therapy, making sure he's taking his medication, making sure he has access? How is this incumbent upon everyone else? I don't see me asking everyone else to make sure I do stuff. We do make a lot of mistakes, but, uh, you know, I am not asking, okay, let me make a parallel argument. As a person that is trying to be healthier, I am not going to go up to any person I see eating cake or eating a Snickers bar or, eating unhealthily and say, well, I am trying to be better. So I'm going to need you to throw that away because I can't control myself to make a good enough choice on my own. I don't have self-control. I need you to just not have it. I need you all to, give me a gym membership, give me a trainer. Actually, now that I think about it, it's this entitlement instead of, I guess, going to seek it out. I do understand that he was born with an addiction, whim, and I guess my issue is that many people are born with setbacks. Many people are born with, maybe mental health issues and things like that. but we all have choices. We have a good choice and we have a bad choice, and he continually chooses to hurt other people, and then wants the mercy that he doesn't afford any of his victims to be poured upon himself, and I just don't. I don't get it. He was basically born with a mental illness. His sister LaDonna Daniels said, "Deep inside, he's a good person. He's just not had the opportunity in life to be surrounded by positive people," meaning his own family. Daniel said that she could see her brother, quote, felt betrayed because he had pled guilty and was starting to get his life back on track. And then Hothus indicated that he would go back to prison and he was, quote, triggered. He was triggered because he seems to have been pleading for his freedom.
Yes,
Griffin, I don't want a hamburger.
I found it in the kitchen.
Okay, I don't want a hamburger you found in the kitchen.
I thought it was one of yours. But I like a piece of meat. Fine. Be careful, it's hot.
Okay, did anyone have Mo getting handed a random hamburger on stream as on their bingo card midstream? We probably should have. We know my streams, we know my feral children, so we probably should have had that on there. He was triggered because he seems to have been pleading for his freedom. Now, here's where I think that his lawyer did him a disservice. His lawyer should have explained to him that this judge, that he had a very real possibility of going back to jail. He should have said, you know, "I am sorry. Look, you have been given slaps on the wrist with your uh you know, history. This judge is a hard ass, you know. I don't think that she is going to, you know, be prepared that she might tell you you are going to jail." I think that the lawyer probably no, we gave all of the boys G names and we weren't expecting Griffin, so Griffin just happened to be a name that Mr. Mo didn't hate. So Uh, I think when the judge said, it's time you had a, quote, taste of something, it became a trigger because in his mind, he felt threatened. Daniel said she also believed that anyone with, quote, fight or flight mechanism would have physically made the leap her brother did. You know, that's amazing because there are hundreds of thousands of court cases every day, and I do believe that every single person in the courtroom has fight or flight, and only he seemed to leap over the bench, but that's just me. I don't know. I That's why I stopped the video because I really am at a compassion deficit for criminals. We have no idea because he is a Heinz 52 catch-all sort of breed. So we're not sure because he was supposed to be a Pomsky, but he is obviously not a Pomsky. So I understand the lens through which she's seeing it is as a sister. I I do get that, but I am in a full look, I'm almost at an hour, and excuse my language, but I am in full fuck deficit for criminals' feelings. I really am. He is, you know, got a laundry list of violent attacks against innocent people. I'm about done. I am about done with, you know, worrying about poor, you know, helpless criminals. You know, call me crazy, but I don't care. I don't care you have We will build you your own open air area in Wyoming. You may go there, have no laws, you know, may the odds be ever in your favor, and then be done. Because it, I mean, it really does seem to boil down to this just general, people. Yeah, I'm just about done. There are people that are really working hard to put their lives back together. Yeah, Snake Island is gonna need an addition when I become Empress of the Pettyverse. I don't think no, they're saying that she triggered him by saying he was going back to jail. Yeah, I don't know. Again, when you give people excuses, when you give people an out as to why they aren't culpable or why they don't have to take responsibility for their behavior, it really allows people to wildly escalate. I so yeah. Well, I am going to get off of here because Frybert does have to go outside again before hopefully we don't get any snow because I swear to goodness, uh the public school system that my children currently go to, every Wednesday they have a 2-hour delay. And I swear to goodness, if the school tries to call off for 2 flakes of snow, I'm I'm gonna day drink. I'm gonna day drink. Yes, Fry is trying to build an addition. He's Fry is a radical. He's oh, good. Oh, that was from his mouth? Oh. Oh, that was gnarly. That was that was oof. That was that was gnarly. He's building turd henge. Well, yes, that is Mr. Mo. Just his legs, though. He's trying to make sure that I didn't poison the meatloaf. I just made it keto. I made instead of the breadcrumbs, I used pork rinds. So, and it's also feet tube for anyone, Just saying. Oh, for God's sake. I'm gonna go. Oh, between being handed a hamburger for reasons I don't know and legs, I'm gonna leave it here. Have a good evening. I will see you guys in the morning. Don't forget to check out my interview with Cara Winnicky. She is one of the lawyers that will be doing the oral arguments for the Delphi case. It is uh it's an interview that I did this morning. I put it up today, and we do it's a shorter interview. It's only about 40 minutes, but we do kind of go through a lot of the case. And look, I make fun of people she can't. You know me. But we also really do get into a lot of the things and make sense of this dumpster fire of a case as much as you can. So hopefully that will give you a good kind of teaser for the oral arguments that are going to happen on the 18th. Have a good evening, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm, and be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Have a great evening, everyone.